So we just read the chapter 17, Jiva's liberation from Maya, that part 1. So in the beginning, we actually started with a nice discussion about arranging a marriage to Brijanath, but his attitude was actually totally different. He was not accepting. So now, if you see this world, we have two kinds of people generally. So one who loves this material world, at least trying to love this material world, they associate with the materialistic people. They are actually, in fact, they are in the fallen state. Because material world is actually temporary and it is actually only troublesome. We just read that just a few minutes back, that actually the fact is this world is full of suffering, and any happiness that you are actually trying to get, it is only very flickering. Okay, so that's the nature. So now the second kind of people is they love. So the first kind of people is they love the material world. They want to, they think that this is the heaven, and then try to enjoy as much as possible. Then the second kind of people is they love spiritual world. Okay, so this is different. So these are the two categories of the people who are in a different stage in spiritual evolution. So those say love spiritual world, not or hate material world. Remember, like in the beginning, we got the dialogue that his uncle Veni Madhava was saying, why do you really hate this world? Okay, so that is the indication that you are actually renouncing and trying to really think about spiritual world. So these those who love the spiritual world, they are actually yet to be, that is about to be liberated. That means they will go back to the spiritual world eternally, and they won't be really again born or death. There is no more rebirth. So now, what kind of behavior that they will have? They will be associated with only sadhus. There are a lot of sadhus, like you can see, but you cannot really assume that everybody is sadhu, because everybody is in a different levels. So eventually, those who really yet to be liberated, eventually gets liberation through association with a sadhu. Sadhu means what? The saintly person, renounced person, and they are the one who will, get the Chit Sukha. Chit Sukha is a permanent happiness. That is also in the spiritual world, it is said that the happiness is ever increasing. It is actually very phenomena, a very strange phenomena of the spiritual world is it is ever increasing happiness. But in the material world, it's always decreasing, because we may think that we buy things and we do so many things. But the thing is, in the beginning we'll be happy, but afterwards, you really hate it. You run into so many problems. Okay, so this is the nature of this material world. So if you see this slide, where we see that Jiva bound by Maya, how exactly that has happened. We really went through this last week. So the ego, that means the ego, the false ego, that thinking that I am an enjoyer, I am the boss, I want to enjoy myself away from Krishna, away from God. That is the reason he really gave this material world. So our ego is the starting point where the Jiva actually, which is supposed to be really going to the spiritual world, got entrapped by the first Linga Sarira, that's the subtle body, where the false ego is the first culprit is actually false ego. Then Maya Devi gives intelligence, and that is material intelligence, not spiritual intelligence. No. Then mind. Our mind is also material, but it is subtle. We cannot really see that. It's not a part of the body. It is actually subtle there inside. That's the mind. Then after that, she gives another covering. That covering is the Sula Sarira. Sula Sarira is gross body, which is made of Akash, space, air, fire, water, earth. So, that is basically, we are made of. So that is the covering only. Inside is a subtle body, which is the Linga Sarira. And then all the way embedded inside is the soul. That is the spirit. All right. So now, here if you see that, this material world is actually not our real home. We have to understand first, this material world is not our home. It is actually like a jail. Okay, that is why I really put the thing in the background. A jail where a lot of, the prisoners actually captured and tortured again and again. This prison is run by Maya. who is actually Durga Devi. Who is Durga Devi? She is like the jailer who tortures all the prisoners. Why? Because the crime is you really made a wrong turn. It's not supposed to be really that way. We are eternally the servant of Krishna and to be happy with him. So, but we actually took a wrong turn. So now how are we getting tortured? We are tortured by repeated birth, diseases, old age and death again and again and again. And also we are getting tortured by our own body, our own mind and other entities like neighbors, terrorists, virus, even the government and also natural disasters. So this is the way this material world is actually built in. So you cannot be really comfortable as you think. You may be actually temporarily comfortable for a while, but it's not actually the happiness at all. So that one has to really understand. Who understands? The second kind of person who love the spiritual world and hate the material world, they are the one who actually really understands and that this world is miserable. All the others, they will try to squeeze in like the frog cooking of the frog that I really showed you last week. Remember, they try to adjust and okay, our problem will be there. We develop, our standard of living, we will actually go higher and make comfortable as much as possible. But only thing is, there is this is not the real happiness at all. We are actually in trouble. So our goal must be to get out of this miserable prison. This world is not our home, but we think that this is the happiest place. The fact is that this is a place of misery, and we are here like in a prison. We should go back to our real home. That is in the spiritual world and be with Krishna. This is there is the real unlimited happiness. But what we do instead? We are greedy for money. We are greedy to enjoy. And we try to invent so many ways to try to enjoy more and more. We think eating good food makes us happy. We think buying more things will make us happy. But those temporary happiness eventually fade away. It will fade away. So it's like a toy. You really give a new toy to a little child, and she's very happy. Always holding. And then after some time, what happens? She gets really sick of that, so the happiness fades away. And after that, when you try to give the toy, even it actually kicks it out. I don't like it. So this is the nature of the material world. Okay. So these actually temporary happiness eventually fades away. So the fact is that we are not real happy here in this world. Instead, we undergo only suffering. We became slaves to our own senses, and that's what the Maya. So we are under the Maya. What is Maya? Illusory energy, Lord's illusory energy, who really made it so that he can actually somehow bring us back to him. So we become slaves to our senses and Maya. To satisfy our senses, we commit so many sinful activities. We develop bad qualities, karma, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, and matsarya. What are they? Lust, anger, greed, illusion, pride, and envy. So like animals, we even kill innocent animals to satisfy our own tongue. We do all this for satisfying our senses. That's why that we really read the Dasamula Sloka, liberation of Jiva from Maya. I am not going to read the Sloka, it is really intricate. So I will read the meaning. While traveling through various species of high as well as low grades in this material world, a living entity conditioned by illusion, that's Maya, develops a taste for pursuing the Vaishnava way. Whenever he comes in contact with a Vaishnava person who is absorbed in the transcendental mellow of Sri Hari, and his illusory conditioning starts withdrawing itself gradually through the process of chanting the holy names of Lord Krishna, so that the said living entity qualifies himself relishing the unalloyed transcendental mellow of devotional service to Lord Krishna while attaining gradually his constitutional position. Okay, so this is what we are going to be eventually expanding it. Okay, so you got only just a nutshell. So now we also just saw that liberation can be only by Vaishnava and with the help of Krishna, of course. So this is actually a sloka from Chaitanya Charitamrita, ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते कोना भाग्यवान जीवा भाग्यवान जीवा गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादे पाया गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादे पाया भक्ति लता बीजा 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 means seed. Bhakti lata means it is actually a vine which really grows and grows and grows to the spiritual world. That is the bhakti lata. Lata means vine. Okay, so the bija, somebody has to give the seed. That seed comes from Guru. So, like here, what is happening? Brahmanda Brahmite Kona. All the jivas are wandering from universe after universe after universe. Look at here. All the universes that he has done, don't think that there are, there is nobody living there. So many unlimited jivas are living in different kinds of form, which sometimes we can't even see. So what it is saying is, according to their karma, all living entities are wandering throughout the entire universe. Some of them are being elevated to the upper planetary systems and some are going down to the lower planetary systems. Out of many millions of wandering living entities, one who is very fortunate gets an opportunity to associate with a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. Krishna gives the human body out of his mercy so that he is giving a chance for you to get back. Because getting a human birth is very extremely rare. So then by the mercy of both Krishna and the spiritual master, such a person receives the seed of the creeper of the devotion service. Okay, what is the creeper that I was talking about? That the Bhakti Lata. Lata means creeper. Bhakti Lata. Without that, you cannot really go go to spiritual world. It's not that all of a sudden just something magic happens and then you really go to spiritual world. It's not like that. You have to develop bhakti. And that creeper, which is really the bhakti, is really, there is a seed necessary, which is actually given by Guru. So what is the topmost fortune for a jiva? Answer is association with a Sutta Bhakta, who is a spiritual master. This is what we are actually reading. Okay, as we go, because what is the topic of this one? Jivas. Like liberation from Maya is a topic. So then what is the root of that? What is the core? The core is you have to associate with Sutta Bhakta and be with them and live with them and hear the instructions and follow them, and then you really go. So it is actually like a bitter thing that for many of those who are in the first category, who love the material world, it will look like a bitter. But those who are really gone to the next levels, by various birth, they love the spiritual world. They will have natural attraction to associate with the sadhus. Okay, so now the sadhu is really very glorious. How glorious is a Sutta Bhakta? Sutta means pure, because bhakti has so many levels. But Sutta Bhakti is actually different. Sutta Bhakti means pure bhakti. That means they are completely dedicated. They don't do anything other than for Krishna. They don't think anything other than Krishna. They are kind of, you can actually call them as a mad people. That's what many sadhus, others will call he is mad. But he is actually so advanced because he is at the level of spiritual world. He is about to really go back. So here, if you see the sloka, it actually describe the glory of a pure bhakta. Who is bhakta? Bhakta means devotee of Krishna. Nakhayam mayani tirthani nadeva mrichila maya te punandya urukalena darshanati eva sadava. No one can deny that there are holy places with sacred rivers like Ganga, Yamuna, Godavari, Saraswati, all those. Or there are demigods appear in deity forms made of earth and stone. I know that basically all the other demigod gods, Devadas. There are so many gods, so many sacred rivers. But these, by worshipping them or taking bath in the holy rivers, these purify the soul only after a long time. You have to keep on doing it. Whereas saintly persons purify just by being seen. Ganga Devi, who is actually the one of the right main sacred river, complained to the Lord when she was asked to descend to earth and to cleanse the people from their sins. She said, yeah, she was wondering, then everybody is actually going to dump their own sins in my water. I'm absorbing. So I get dirty. So she said, oh Lord, everyone will be dumping their sins on me, and how can, I wash my sins out? These whatever they really dumped, how can I really wash them out? So I will be contaminated. The Lord said, don't worry. There in your river, in your sacred river, there will be also pure bhaktas will also come and take bath you. As soon as they really touch you, all your sins, everything will be completely gone. See, look at the power of a pure bhakta. So here we should understand that taking bath in holy rivers take a long time to get rid of the sins. Worship of gods will also take a long time to get rid of the sins. But just by seeing a Sutta Bhakta, all our sins are destroyed. That is the glory of Sutta Bhakta. Now, what is the process? So we are talking about liberation of Jiva, right, from Maya. What is the process? How one gets liberated and then be free? So this is the thing what you see is, so you see at the very center is the soul. This is the same figure that I showed you last week. So you see the soul, and then along with that, then you have false ego, which is called Anandamaya, then intelligence, that is Vijnanamaya, then mind, Manomaya, Kosha, then we have the astral body is a ghost, we become a ghost. So when we really die, actually from astral body onwards is the one which really comes out. So the physical body is going out. So physical body is what we really see, that is called Annamaya Kosha. So now, let us see when we are born, how the whole thing comes. We start with the soul, which has a tendency, which has an ego to really enjoy, and then mind. Okay, so that is what is the fundamental problem, and because of that false ego, then what happens is Maya Devi gives a false ego and gives the astral, the intelligence and mind and astral body and gross body, everything he is supplying in that order. False ego covers the soul, then next one is intelligence, then the mind, then after that the astral body, that's the ghost, and then the gross body. This is how the whole thing is. This is how when we are born, it is subtle. That's what is actually how the whole thing develops. But when one gets liberated, it goes in the reverse way. Okay, we leave our body. So that means we are in the astral body. We are ghost. In the ghost, what are the things that we really have in the ghost? All body, mind, mind, intelligence, false ego. Everything is there. And these when they are also shredded off, thrown out, then the soul is now pure, back to as it is. Okay, out of the false ego, out of the intelligence, out of the mind, everything. So it is now pure. Is called, that is what the chitta, that it can enjoy chit sukha, because it's pure. Our soul is actually very pure. But because of that, the tendency to enjoy, that we really developed, that is why we are here. So we have to get out. Now also we read that, what are the 8 qualities of the liberated jiva? Because liberation can actually have two ways. One is, even a person is living in this body, he could be actually, he's already liberated because he is detached. He is detached from the body, detached from the family, detached from everything. And now he is actually just living for the sake of Krishna. So he is always, his birth is always God. Okay. So what are the 8 qualities? He is free from sinful activity. He won't really make any sinful activity of any purpose. Nothing. He is unaffected by old age. Old age may be showing up, but his soul, he feels always fresh, always remain young and fresh. Okay, and no tendency to decay. He never falls down. He's always going up and up and up. Whatever that happens, he will never fall down. He will never lose the faith, and then he is actually living for the sake of Krishna only. And he never morose. He does not have any sensual desires. His desires for the sense enjoyment, is completely stopped. Nothing can satisfy him. Nothing, not even costly car or something, costly home or something. Nothing. He's not going to get attached, or he's not going to be really to really have the sensual desire at all. The only desire is to serve Krishna. So, in summary, what we have seen is how does a jiva gets liberation? Association with Suddha Bhaktas, pure Bhaktas. Suddha means pure Bhaktas. Bhakta means devotees of Krishna. So association with Suddha Bhakta is very important, and also you take a shelter under spiritual master. We think, oh yeah, I am worshipping Krishna. I am worship. But no. Krishna says that you have to take a spiritual master. Otherwise, that's a process. He also followed the same process. That's the way it is. Now, who is a Suddha Bhakta? Who is a Suddha Bhakta? That is the one. This is actually, this particular sloka is really very sensitive. This, we have really covered this sloka probably several times, but this is the core of it. Anya vilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena krishnanu Silanam bhaktir uttama. Uninterrupted loving service without any desire of jnana. Jnana means what? Jnana yoga, karma yoga, or any yogas. No, he throws all those the things that are associated with actually getting like liberated or something, right? So no, he even though he is liberated, he doesn't really want anything desperate saying, I want to be liberated. No, nothing. He's already liberated. So there is no yoga or anything that he will be following. His only purpose of living is to give happiness to Krishna. Whatever he is doing for the sake of Krishna. Whatever he is thinking, whatever he is actually aiming, anything that we do is all for only to really make sure that, okay, by doing this one, can I really make Krishna happy? Can I make Krishna happy? But again, how will you know that Krishna is happy? You have to make your Gurudev happy. Because so if you make Gurudev happy, then what happens? Then Krishna is happy. This is actually how the whole thing works. Krishna Bhakti is directly proportional. So the Guru Bhakti is directly proportional to Krishna Bhakti. So we cannot go straight away to Krishna. That doesn't work. That's not the process. But if you ask Krishna saying, yes, I want to really get back to you, what he will do, he will send you a Guru. Guru will automatically come. When there is a student, a Guru will automatically manifest. Okay? So this is actually written by Srila Rupa Goswami. So what is uninterrupted? That means, suppose you really have to take a honey in a bottle, and you are pouring in the jar. And because it will be continuously coming as a one stream, smoothly that will be running out. Right? That is that's uninterrupted, like that. Not like tuck, sometimes I worship the Lord, sometimes I don't, I really give up. No, not like that. He is continuously engaged to give happiness to Krishna by serving his Guru, and any activity that he is doing is only for happiness. People ask, I am buying this. Why I am buying? Is it really going to be in service to Krishna? Yes or no? No, to throw it out. That is the way that you really engage. So, a question here is coming. I am actually putting a question. There are so many gods. Are the gods also Suddha Bhaktas? Right? There are a lot of gods. In fact, in this Brahmanda, there are 330 million, 33 crores of Devadas. They are there. Some comes down to the earth and then go. Okay, this is all happening. But these Devadas, are they really the pure Bhakta? Actually, Shastra says it's not. They are not. Pure Bhaktas have nothing to do with these demigods. Demigods are to manage all the creation. How this whole world is created. So somebody has to manage it. That is why this Swargaloka or heaven, we call heaven, is a headquarters of the gods. So many gods are there. Okay, so depending on what God you really worship, you will go there, but it's only heaven. Okay, so now what happens is, what the sloka is saying is the upper planetary system beginning with Surya. Okay, so basically Surya. So we have the sun, and then all the planetary system. It is above. We cannot really see that. It is beyond our perception, because what happened, there are 14 levels of the planetary system. Only one level we are seeing right now. All the other levels are not visible for us. Ghost, for example, that can see us, but we cannot see even the ghost. Okay, that's what we remember. There are so many lokas up there like that. So upper planetary system, there they live. Devaloka. It's called Devaloka. Loka means the planets to where they reside. Devaloka. They are all devotees of the Lord. They are devotees, but that is the reason they are called Devata. But they are not pure devotees. Pure devotees will never accept any running of the management. These are something, nothing like that. No, they are not pure devotees. But they are not disobedient to Krishna also. Krishna's order is there to you manage, and then they are executing it. But they are not pure pure bhakta, Suddha bhakta. So Suddha bhakta means they do not come to the material world at all. That is it. They don't have anything to do managing or coming to material world at all. They are everlastingly liberated soul, engaged in the service of Narayana or Krishna, depending on whether they go to Vaikuntha or to Goloka. This material creation is exhibition of 1/4 energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the supercluster galaxies and these innumerable created worlds, there are just 1/4, just like a significant. But the spiritual world is way larger. It's saying, if you do a comparison, 1/4 of his energy that he used, he didn't use all the energy. 1/4 the energy he used, that became the material creations with all the superclusters, these galaxies, everything. And the 3/4 is the spiritual world, that is the Vaikuntha Loka, and then the topmost is the Goloka. So here we will end with the bhajan. So this bhajan is actually glorifying the Sutta Bhakta. Sutta Bhakta. See, that's why I really chose this one for today. So the dust of the lotus feet of pure devotees, enthusiastic devotional service, and service to the pure devotees of the highest order are the roots of the creeper of devotion. We saw that. Bhakti Lata Bija. See, that the creeper of devotion is what is the thing. This is actually coming from them only. So Guru gives a seed, so it grows, and then with the help of the devotees, and they have to be pure devotees, right? And then it actually starts growing. And now here it says, so many things are there. And when I hear the sound of the mridanga in my devotional activity in my heart, I am always decided to join in the kirtana. And when I hear the Bonaparte songs describing Lord Chaitanya's pastime, my heart dances in ecstasy. Lord Chaitanya Dukkadika, they get dancing. Because they are all pure bhaktas. Pure bhaktas will do, they behave like that. Others can really call us mad people. But they are the pure bhaktas. All right. Okay, now I will request Yashika to really sing. It has actually eight verses, but we will sing only 4 of them because we don't have that much time also. Okay, 1, 2, and
Shuddha Bhakata Charan Renu Bhajan Anukola. Shuddha Bhakata Charan Renu Bhajan Anukola. Bhakata Seva Paramasiddhi Premalati Karamola. Bhakata Seva Paramasiddhi Premalati Karamola. Shuddha Bhakata Charan Renu Bhajan Anukola. Shuddha Bhakata Charan Renu Bhajan Anukola. माधवती थी भांति जननी जतन पालन को रे। माधवती थी भांति जननी जतन पालन को रे। कृष्ण वसती वसती बोली परमादर बोले। कृष्ण वसती वसती बोली परमादर बोले। शुद्ध भगत चरण रेणु भजन अनुकूला। शुद्ध भगत चरण रेणु भजन अनुकूला। गौर आमरा जिस बिस्ताने कोरण ब्रह्मण रंगे। गौर आमरा जिस बिस्ताने कोरण ब्रह्मण रंगे। शिस्त बस्ताना हिरिबोमी प्रणयी भक्त संगे। शिस्त बस्ताना हिरिबोमी प्रणयी भक्त संगा। शुद्ध भक्त चरण रेणु भजन अनुकूला। शुद्ध भगत चरण रेणु भजन अनुकूला। मृदंग वाद्या सुनीते माना अप्सर सदा जासे। मृदंग वाद्या सुनीते माना अवसर सदा जासे। गौर विहिता कीर्तन सुनी आनंद हृदय नासे। गौर विहिता कीर्तन सुनी आनंद हृदय नासे। शुद्ध भगत चरण रेणु भजन अनुकूला। शुद्ध भगत चरण रेणु भजन अनुकूला। भगत सेवा परम सिद्धि प्रेमलति कर मूला। भगत सेवा परम सिद्धि प्रेमलति कर मूला। शुद्ध भगत चरण रेणु भजन अनुकूला। शुद्ध भगत चरण रेणु भजन अनुकूला। भजन अनुकूला।